happened. A difficult customer, a disappointing sales week, an unexpected bill, a stressful day, and little by little, her momentum disappeared. The notebook stayed closed. The business plans gathered dust. The enthusiasm faded. Have you ever promised yourself that this time would be different? This time, you would stay disciplined. This time, you would stay focused. This time, you would not quit halfway. But somehow, weeks later, you find yourself back at the beginning, wondering how you ended up there again. This is the story of a young woman from Ghana who learned that success is not built by powerful moments. It is built by faithful habits. Her name was Abena. At 28 years old, Abena lived in a small apartment on the outskirts of Ghana. Every morning before sunrise, she woke up with a dream burning inside her heart. She wanted to build a successful fashion business, not because she wanted fame, not because she wanted luxury, but because she wanted a better life for herself and her family. Whenever motivation struck, Abena became unstoppable. She filled notebooks with business ideas. She watched videos about entrepreneurship. She made detailed plans and set ambitious goals. For a few days, she worked harder than anyone around her. But then life happened. A difficult customer, a disappointing sales week, an unexpected bill, a stressful day, and little by little, her momentum disappeared. The notebook stayed closed. The business plans gathered dust. The enthusiasm faded. Soon she was doing almost nothing at all. Then guilt would arrive. She would look at successful people online and wonder why they seemed to move forward while she stayed in the same place. So she would start over, again, and again, and again. Every new month became another fresh beginning. Every setback became another reason to quit. Every restart felt hopeful for a moment. But deep inside, Abena was exhausted. One evening, after another disappointing week, she sat outside her apartment, watching the orange sunset disappear beyond the horizon. Children laughed in the distance. Motorcycles passed along the dusty road. The world seemed to keep moving forward while she remained stuck. For the first time, she asked herself an uncomfortable question. What if my problem isn't failure? What if my problem is constantly restarting? The question stayed in her mind. That night, she opened an old notebook and began reading through her previous plans. She noticed something surprising. None of her plans had failed because they were bad. Most of them had never been followed long enough to work. Every idea had been abandoned before it had a chance to grow. Abena suddenly understood something many people never realize. Success was not avoiding difficulty. Success was staying consistent through difficulty. The next morning, she made a decision. No dramatic promises, no grand announcements, no emotional speeches. Just one simple commitment. She would work on her business for 30 minutes every day. Not when she felt motivated. Every day. Not when inspiration appeared. Every day. Not when circumstances were perfect. Every day. The first week felt easy. The second week felt ordinary. By the third week, excitement disappeared. But she continued. 30 minutes every day. Some days she designed clothing sketches. Some days she contacted potential customers. Some days she simply organized her workspace. The progress felt slow, almost invisible. But something powerful was happening beneath the surface. She was becoming reliable. Months passed. Her skills improved. Her confidence grew. Customers began recommending her work to friends. Small opportunities turned into larger opportunities. The business that once existed only in her notebook was finally becoming real. One afternoon, while preparing an order for a customer, Abena smiled. Not because she had become wealthy, not because she had achieved every dream, but because she realized something had changed. She was no longer trapped in the cycle of starting over. The woman who constantly restarted had become a woman who stayed. And staying changed everything. Years later, when people asked how she became successful, they expected a secret strategy. They expected a life-changing moment. They expected some extraordinary breakthrough. Instead, Abena always gave the same answer. I stopped waiting to feel ready. I stopped chasing motivations. I stopped starting over. I simply kept showing up. Because success does not belong to the most talented person. It does not belong to the most emotional person. It does not belong to the person with the biggest dreams. Success belongs to the person who keeps moving forward when excitement disappears. The person who continues when progress seems invisible. The person who remains faithful to the process. So, if you feel stuck today, remember Abena's story. You do not need a perfect plan. You do not need endless motivation. You do not need another dramatic restart. You only need today's step. One small action, one small improvement, one more day of consistency. Because the future you dream about is not built in a single moment. It is built one faithful day at a time. And sometimes, the greatest victory is not starting again. It is refusing to stop. If this story inspired you, comment below. I will keep showing up. And don't forget to subscribe for more motivational stories that inspire growth, discipline, and purpose.